Wendy Eisenberg, fantastic set.
Thank you.
That was great to have you on Advocate Sessions.
Happy to be here.
First off, how did you get started in music?
Well, if you want like the classic applying to conservatories answer, it's I heard Greensleeves on a like music box and then played it on the piano, and my mom was like made a lot of quick assumptions about inborn talent there, and then put me into piano. But I think honestly I just knew that I wasn't cut out for many other things, and all the other things would be within music better for me.
One thing that I think is really interesting about your guitar playing and how it works with your vocals is it seems to be a lot about mood. Like you'll have these very dissonant chords that kind of capture a lot of different moods. It's almost, to me at least, a little impressionistic.
Ooh.
But what are your thoughts about your own playing and your songwriting?
That's amazing. Well, the writing of songs for me started as a way for me to see how many different pieces I could split my brain into in any given moment. So it started really as like right hand technique stuff, because I had a really rough injury that made it so that I wasn't like good at my right hand and I had to relearn technique. So these are really helpful for that. But also like if I can come up with something so like almost too hard for me on guitar and then sing over it, that was like the primary concern, is like, is that possible? Maybe, sure. And then mood was always like tertiary, I guess. But recently, as I've stopped being like as macho and bro-y about it, it's been much more about that. So it's cool to hear that being reflected by somebody, because moods are hard.
Yeah, well, I think you pulled it off quite well. So
thank you.
So who are some of your influences?
I knew that question was coming, and I was going to make a joke. But
is that the joke? No.
Oh my god, if I was in a different mood, it totally would have been, though. Damn it, preparation. I think probably Judy Sill is this songwriter from the 70s who is really important to me. And obviously Joni, but my voice is vague at best compared to hers. But in terms of just like music stuff, recently lots of Yellow Magic Orchestra and Armeto Pascual and like things that are that kind of otherworldly are really important to me. But also like some of the heads up here who, you know, like Ryan and Chris and Ruth.
I heard you'll be working with John Zorn in the near future. Could you tell us a little about that? I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Thank you. I'm really lucky. Yeah, he heard me when I was a student at NEC, and I was playing the Bill Frisell role in his like Naked City stuff, and I did a good enough job where he has sort of kept me on his radar. And he curated this trio of me and two of my favorite musicians ever, Chess Smith on drums and Trevor Dunn on bass. And so we recorded a noise record in early July, and we're releasing that in October. But as for playing with Zorn, it's only ever happened at like a few of his weird improv night things, and it's really fun because it's sort of like, it's like what you're doing in high school, but it's scarier because there's like 50 more dudes watching you do it, you know? So there's like a severity there. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. But he's just been really helpful for me. I don't know. I'm really lucky about that.
And you've been working on a couple different projects, I think you said. What are they? And is there like a time frame release date?
Oh, funny you should ask that today. One of them is, well, they're all ready. One of them is a feeding tube re-release of a cassette that I put out in 2017, and that's called Time Machine. And that's much more a love songs record than this friendship songs one that's coming. So that's me alone, living in Boston, 4-track, the whole cosplay thing there. And then I have this trio, the Zorn trio thing. And then I also have a record of solo guitar improvisations that's coming out with this label called VDSQ. And the guy who runs it's like a huge Fahey head, so it's really weird to be on it because I'm not really that good at that kind of stuff. But he chooses a lot of solo acoustic guitar players, and I'm lucky to be there too. It's like a curated series. But additionally to that, I have a few new bands. One of them is called Ditch Factor, and it's like a trio. It's like sludgy, grungy rock shit. It's really funny to me. Sorry about cursing. To do that in addition to these like, you know, kind of songs. That stuff, some theater stuff. I don't really do anything else besides play the guitar at this point.
Okay. Do you have any shows coming up in like August, September?
Yeah. So there's a few ones of interest. Two of which are in like Boston and Rhode Island with this bass player called Damon Smith. He's like a Bay Area improviser. So those are the 29th and the 30th, I think, at Brain Arts in Dorchester on the 29th, and then on the 30th it's someplace in Providence. And then in September I have 2 nights at the Stone with this guy called, which is a Zorn thing also, he's just really literal all over my shit right now. Again, with the cursing. Boy.
Well, you're in the right place. The advocate,
so liberal. Look. Sorry. Yeah, but that's gonna be like the real shit. There's two nights for this guy Matt Mitchell, who's a really experimental piano player composer guy, and one of them's called Hyper Understanding, and I'm playing tenor banjo and acoustic guitar with him, and he plays piano. There's like bass clarinet and just bonkers. And then the other one is like metal adjacent, because in my past life there's tons of that. And hopefully future life, because I need it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the performance today. It was great.
Thanks for having me.